By April 2026, India managed a logistical feat few thought possible, rolling out E20, petrol blended with 20% ethanol, across the entire nation. Look at this digital counter. This represents the immediate economic relief of that policy. 4.5 crore, or 45 million barrels of imported crude oil, kept completely off India's balance sheet every single year, saving billions in precious foreign exchange. With 20% of the nation's petrol now replaced by agricultural alcohol, the industry turned its attention to the much larger diesel market. Why couldn't the same chemistry be applied there? This pie chart of India's petroleum consumption reveals why that question matters. While petrol mostly fuels personal mobility, diesel is the heavy-duty workhorse. This slice here, a massive 39%, powers the nation's entire commercial transport and logistics network. But trying to force standard ethanol into a heavy-duty diesel engine will result in complete mechanical failure. Decarbonizing petrol only patches a small consumer issue. As long as the commercial supply chain relies entirely on pure fossil diesel, the nation's core logistics network remains entirely exposed to global oil market shocks. To understand why agricultural alcohol destroys a diesel engine, we have to look directly inside the combustion chamber. This animated diagram shows the core mechanical difference. On the left, petrol engines use spark ignition. On the right, diesel engines rely strictly on compression ignition. Ethanol thrives in the petrol engine on the left. Because it has a high octane rating, it easily mixes with air, compresses safely without detonating, and waits patiently for the spark plug to trigger a clean burn. The diesel engine on the right operates in a much harsher environment. It compresses pure air until temperatures hit nearly 500 degrees Celsius, and then injects fuel. That fuel must ignite instantly from the intense heat alone, a readiness measured by the cetane number. Standard diesel operates smoothly with a high cetane number between 45 and 55. Ethanol has a miserable cetane rating of just 8. When it enters this high-pressure, red-hot cylinder, it fails to ignite on contact. It pools up and then explodes violently all at once, causing severe engine knock and immediate structural wear. Outside the engine, the logistics are just as bad. Ethanol is highly polar and water-loving, while diesel is nonpolar. When mixed, they reject each other, separating into two distinct layers right inside the fuel tank. Add in ethanol's incredibly low flash point of 13 degrees Celsius, and storing it at standard fuel depots becomes a massive fire hazard. Because of these strict physical and chemical blocks, standard ethanol cannot safely cross a minor 5% blend limit. As a strategy for heavy transport, it is a dead end. The solution requires a chemical upgrade. Enter isobutanol, a heavier, more sophisticated biological cousin of ethanol. Using the exact same agricultural fermentation process, scientists can guide the molecule to grow. Watch as the short 2-carbon ethanol chain mutates. 2 additional carbons attach, branching out to form a robust 4-carbon isobutanol molecule. This new structural length completely alters how the fuel behaves. Because it is longer and heavier, it acts almost exactly like a traditional hydrocarbon fuel, packing nearly 90% of the energy density found in pure fossil diesel.
It also dissolves perfectly into standard diesel without phase separation or the need for expensive chemical stabilizers. And its much higher cool, stable flash point makes it entirely safe for bulk storage in India's hot climate. By refining the biological fermentation process, India essentially re-engineered a basic plant-derived molecule into a true drop-in replacement for fossil diesel. For the person behind the wheel of a commercial truck, an agricultural tractor, or a diesel passenger car, running a 15% isobutanol blend, known as I-15, will feel completely normal. Many drivers remember the rollout of high-blend E85 petrol. Even though it was roughly 20 rupees cheaper per liter, consumers quickly realized the weak energy density of ethanol caused a sharp drop in their driving range, erasing those initial savings at the pump. This chart compares the energy density per liter of these fuels. Pure fossil diesel sits at the top at 100%. While ethanol drops down to just 65%, isobutanol retains an impressive 90% of that energy density. Because of this, running an I-15 blend results in a virtually unnoticeable drop in fuel economy, retaining full hauling power and driving range. There is one minor engineering adjustment required. Isobutanol is still an alcohol, meaning if it sits completely stagnant in an unused vehicle for months, it can attract trace atmospheric moisture and cause microcorrosion in internal fuel lines. Automakers are already recalibrating metallurgy in newer models to eliminate this specific risk. The I-15 mandate delivers massive reductions in harmful particulate emissions without forcing the end user to sacrifice engine performance or pay a green penalty at the station. Scaling this nationwide faces a steep financial hurdle. Raw, market-rate isobutanol costs significantly more to manufacture than untaxed basic fossil diesel, creating a massive viability gap. If oil marketing companies passed that production premium directly to the consumer, transport costs would spike and trigger immediate inflation. To prevent this, the government is deploying targeted tax subsidies and structural GST cuts to absorb the extra manufacturing cost, keeping the retail price strictly locked to standard diesel. The second half of the strategy turns a massive industry liability into an asset. Over the last few years, Indian sugar mills and distillers heavily overinvested in ethanol production infrastructure, leading to severe structural overcapacity. By offering firm procurement guarantees, the government is enabling these massive processing plants to retrofit their existing fermentation setups. They can switch to producing isobutanol utilizing the exact same domestic agricultural feedstocks they already possess, like broken food grains and abundant sugarcane. At the geopolitical level, this domestic supply chain acts as an economic shield. By sourcing heavy-duty fuel from local farmlands instead of foreign oil wells, India breaks its historic multi-billion-dollar vulnerability to volatile global crude oil shocks. By scaling isobutanol, India is weaponizing its own agricultural yield to secure the nation's logistics backbone, cementing a self-sustaining path toward net zero by 2070.